Who knew walking home from school could be such an adventure? In this poignant yet quite challenging title, you play a young girl with a vivid imagination. Today, let's see what Little Bug has in store for this Indiescovery, the videos where I go through the strengths and weaknesses of a game and let you decide for yourself if this is something that you'd like to pick up and play. So, let's jump into it. A quick note before the video, this copy of the game was provided for free from the developers, so thank you to the team behind Little Bug for providing this opportunity for me to cover your game. Nyah is a young girl making her way home from school, and like most kids her age, she's got a bit of imagination and an affinity for collecting things like bugs, flowers, and even the occasional skull or bone. Like most kids, all she wants to do is share her world with the people she loves, people like her grandmother and her mother. And while her grandmother fosters this sense of exploration and play, her mom has a lot on her plate with a new baby and just wishes Nyah would take things more seriously. I appreciated that throughout the game you get glimpses of the relationship between Nyah and her mother, of Nyah's memories by collecting the items that she puts into her lunchbox. These items, while they serve a functional purpose in the game by unlocking secret areas and challenges, also have captions that explain why Nyah would find that item important enough to collect and save. It offers nuance to that mother-daughter relationship, what it must be like to be the older sibling in a world where you once were the only sibling, and this game shows that snapshot of a period of time in which a family may be tired and things may be tough. The moody, atmospheric vibe of this game sets that tone and is absolutely beautiful. There's another worldliness to the environment, of course supplemented by elements like glowing purple hands and feet or shadowy figures that chase Nyah. In a way, it reminded me of a variation of the yokai, or perhaps a spirit world we would see in films like Spirited Away. A little creepy, a little dark, but not outright scary. One of the lines that the developers use in their press release to describe the game is that it is simple controls, but complex gameplay, and that is 100% correct. I played this with a controller, and with that you use your left stick to move forward and back, and the right stick to actually move a little lovely ball of light that helps guide Nyah home. Because, you see, Nyah can't jump, so the spirit must instead use a beam of energy to lift, pull, and swing her across any obstacles in her path. Once you get the hang of using each stick on a controller to control two different characters, this is simple enough, but it comes then with a few caveats. The beam only lasts for a short period of time before it'll drop Nyah, and while it can break through specific barriers, it cannot move through walls, and the beam can be obstructed. Finally, it's definitely not immune to any of the ghostly spirits that can harm Nyah as well. So, that's where this challenge factor really comes in. This game starts you off nice and easy to help you get a feel for the momentum and physics of pulling and swinging Nyah around the level, but once you start adding more precision elements like narrow corridors and moving obstacles, things get quite a bit trickier. You will die. A lot. And going into one major area of feedback I have for this title, a lot of the deaths will be attempts just to see a little bit further to understand what you're even jumping into. While I figure the goal of many of these games is to encourage players to fail to learn, in certain, not all, but certain puzzles, I felt like having the camera drawn back just a little bit more, or perhaps the ability to scroll through a puzzle area would have been helpful. While tweaks like this could have made me feel more confident in my attempts at the game, the challenges, while hard, never did feel totally impossible. There were a few puzzles that I had to set down and come back to after a break, but those weren't commonplace, and while occasionally Nyah's dialogue felt like the game was poking at me, for example, after a particularly bad string of deaths, Nyah asked if she would be stuck here forever. I had to take a break after that one. But overall, I liked Nyah enough that that commentary more often than not pushed me into trying the challenges over and over again until I succeeded, rather than taking a break. And to the testament of this game and the level design, eventually I did always succeed. While this wasn't explicitly explained, I did notice that there are little light bulbs placed throughout the levels indicating spots that may be ideal if you're having trouble getting through an area. And this goes into my second major piece of feedback about this game. There are just a couple of things that aren't explained, and as a player you have to figure out on your own, and I would have loved clarification earlier on, like the light bulbs or when you offer up treasures that you collect to your friendly neighborhood cat Roadkill. Initially, I thought this was a way to collect fun items, but there's actually something that happens instead of that. As I mentioned earlier, it unlocks other areas. Again, perhaps this was intentional on the part of the developers, to keep things as a surprise or to get the player to really think about their environment. but as a player it would have been really nice again to just have those ready so that I felt more successful and less like there was stuff hiding in the game that I didn't know about. This is a game that combines distinctive art design and a touching and relatable story with gameplay that feels fresh and new, which is especially exciting coming from a 2D puzzle platformer, a genre that has had some incredible releases in the past couple of years. Using momentum and almost a twin-stick mentality to platform across this quirky and atmospheric world is a great way to spend a weekend of gaming, especially if you're able to take deep breaths and accept the fact that this will be a challenge and that it's definitely worth the effort. As always, thank you for watching this Indiescovery. I could not do this without your feedback and without your support, so if you enjoyed this channel, please hit that subscribe button. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button. On this channel, I do my best to focus on indie games, whether it's a first impression, a more in-depth review like this one, or perhaps Let's Plays. And I also make sure to try and cover indie game events featuring titles that I think you should keep an eye on. Finally, if you enjoy watching live streams or just need something in the background that has an indie game being played, feel free to check out my Twitch channel. It's twitch.tv/Kimchica, and I go live Monday through Thursday at 1 p.m. Pacific time. And I also live stream from my work channel, which is twitch.tv/Utomic, and I go live there Mondays and Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Pacific time. On both channels, I do my best to feature indie games as well as the developers who make them, so I'd love to have you in there just to say hi and check out the community because it's a pretty great one. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day, that you're finding lots of indie games to play, and I will see you in the next video.